Resti stirred awake to find Sanjo Rei's face, confused about why he woke up in this position. He assumed the whole scene had to be a dream since everything felt way too vivid and real to be true. Hiro startled to find another version of himself lying there, while Reti questioned why he suddenly acted so distant from his own sibling. A servant urged Hiro to hurry, but he could only stare in horror, realizing he now wore this hateful and unfamiliar face. Rei smacked him across the cheek. Rei stood shocked, insisting she only punched him because she truly believed the whole situation was nothing more than a dream. Hiro doubled over from the pain, unable to deny how real that hit felt against his skin. Hiro grabbed his own bruised face in disbelief, questioning whether he had actually become Sanjo Hiro, the most despised nuisance character from a certain game he once played. He recalled Everything for the Score, nicknamed Esco, a hidden masterpiece among Yuri game fans set inside Hojo Magic Academy, where the main goal involved the protagonist finding happiness with one heroine. He remembered spending countless hours customizing weapons and magic, still confused why such heavy simulation elements existed inside a game built entirely around Yuri romance. He recalled obsessively completing every scenario, collecting every CG, and reading the entire art book, drawn in by how adorable the four heroines and side characters truly were. Two girls gossiped nearby, one visibly annoyed while overhearing that the protagonist planned to visit the dungeon together with another character, sparking unwanted curiosity between them. Hiro remembered how Sanjo Hiro wedged himself between Yuri pairings, ruined every important event, and dragged down Esco's otherwise excellent reputation. Lost in memory, he recalled walking home exhausted after finishing the game, only to witness a truck suddenly bearing down on two people crossing the street ahead. Frozen with panic at first, he forced himself to move, refusing to watch helplessly as the accident tore two people apart right before his eyes. Back in the limo, Reisi addressed him formally as Hiro, while he quietly concluded that dying in that accident must have triggered his reincarnation into this world. A servant coldly reminded him that he was merely decoration among guests, announcing that the Sanjo family dinner was about to begin without further delay. Rei's cold stare warned him that his recent behavior would only earn him worse reputation among the family, telling him not to speak unless eating. He identified Reiti as Hiro's younger sister and one of the four heroines, recalling how her route dove deep into the Sanjo family's inheritance conflict. He remembered how Hiro's own reckless actions led to his assassination by Rei later in that storyline, wondering nervously if that dangerous flag remained active now. Reaching the venue just in time, he reminded himself to stay cautious around Rei. Noticing no affection in her eyes despite his new reincarnated status, Reisa told him to get a hold of himself, reminding him that his presence still carried weight as a symbolic member of the Sanjo family. Startled by her sudden kindness, he blurted out a compliment before panicking, questioning whether acting cold would actually suit Hiro's true character better. Rei stared at the handkerchief. Hiro dropped into her palm, confused by the sudden gesture from someone she barely trusted around her. Hiro explained. He noticed her hand looked red after she picked up a watch, so he wanted to return her earlier kindness before the dinner party began. He added with a playful grin that her hands were meant for the future of their family, calling his gesture nothing more than basic courtesy between relatives. A branch family member mocked the cheap gift and demanded Reiti throw it away, but she refused firmly and chose to keep the handkerchief instead. Rei twirled gracefully, admitting she wanted to commemorate the rare moment Hiro made a joke, catching him off guard with her sudden cheerful reaction. Hiro insisted he wasn't joking, declaring that protecting Yuri was every citizen's duty, while Reishi and the guard dismissed his words and walked toward the feast. Inside the venue, Hiro marveled at girls openly dating each other without hesitation, convinced he had truly stepped into the world of Esco. He admitted men barely mattered here, compared to background pebbles, while nearby male guests blended into the scenery, drawing no attention from anyone present. Whispers spread that Hiro might inherit the main family, though Rei remained the true heir, quietly hiding a bandage while sipping her drink among the guests. A young girl clutching a plush doll shouted for her mother, dashing past scattered snacks as the elderly great-aunt arrived with commanding presence. The great-aunt declared Hiro would enroll at Hojo Magic Academy, silencing his protest and refusing to acknowledge any right for him to object. Rei explained the academy served as Esco's main stage, meaning Hiro might eventually cross paths with the story's central characters sooner than expected. A masked figure snarled hatred toward Hiro for showing his face, while a woman ordered someone to finish him off during their next encounter. Sanjo Hiro's reputation worsened further after reports claimed he threatened people using the family name to beg money from the branch household. The great-aunt argued Hojo Academy could restore his dignity, but Hiro suspected the real reason was giving the Sanjo family an easy chance to assassinate him. Walking home, Hiro tried explaining his dinner realization, though Reidi offered vague support without fully understanding what conclusion he had actually reached. Reidi's affection remained rock bottom, yet Hiro noted she hadn't reached the murder stage, unlike the death flag already forming around him. Sweating under pressure, Hiro vowed to avoid this death flag completely, knowing the Sanjo family would kill him exactly as the scenario predicted. He realized both the Sanjo family and the story's main characters played deep roles in his eventual death, forcing him to think of countermeasures. Suddenly, a maid swung her weapon, narrowly missing Hiro, who yelled in shock while wondering if the assassination squad had already arrived. The maid stared blankly, holding a large wrapped weapon, wondering if the great aunt's delivery had somehow gone wrong before entering Hiro's room. She apologized briefly and explained the great aunt ordered her to deliver the item, revealing a massive katana that instantly caught Hiro's attention. Hiro recognized the weapon as Kuki Masamune, a magic catalyst device that heroines could obtain only by killing him and stealing it away. The maid questioned his surprised expression, reminding him this blade formed through magic wasn't an ordinary sword like the ones he already owned. Hiro clicked the hilt, revealing the true form of Kuki Masamune, relieved the activation formula remained intact despite years of neglect inside storage. He swung the blade, but nothing happened. Then checked its status screen and discovered the catalyst possessed nothing but weak light attributes. Frustrated by its uselessness, Hiro decided reinforcing his own strength mattered most. Announcing suddenly that they were heading straight toward a dungeon. The maid finished her task and prepared to leave, telling Hiro he could head home now since her assigned work had ended. As she walked away, she muttered an insult under her breath, calling him an idiot before disappearing through the hallway entrance. Hiro confronted her about insulting her own master, then casually asked if there was someone she currently liked or had feelings for. She twisted his words instantly, calling it romance talk, teasing him about being curious regarding his personal taste in Yuri relationships. Both continued bickering, Hiro accusing her of enjoying causing trouble, while she defended herself as payback for him bullying her maid friend. She apologized properly afterward, admitting she wanted to make amends with that girl immediately, acknowledging her own behavior had been wrong. Later, Hiro visited the Tokyo Management Bureau seeking permission, but learned appointments could only be scheduled again for the following day. Guards recognized his identity as heir to the Sanju family, granting him access without further inspection due to their powerful connections. Hiro finally reached the dungeon entrance, staring at the swirling portal representing dangerous singularities that had appeared across the entire world. Descending into the abandoned station dungeon, he realized the real challenge would begin only after passing through this monster-filled realm. The maid unexpectedly followed him inside, asking his name while insisting they would meet again tomorrow, regardless of his answer. Hiro confirmed they previously crossed paths at Hojo Magic Academy, prompting her surprised reaction upon hearing that familiar location mentioned. He explained his current goal was hunting monsters to farm catalyst material, hoping to properly wield Kuki Masamune while gaining valuable combat experience. The maid explained that fighting monsters required a magic catalyst device, since without one, harming them remained completely impossible for anyone. Hiro remembered he already owned a catalyst device and decided to check his current score before spending anything on basic conduits. Esco converted behavior and social contributions into a numerical score, and Hiro discovered with horror that his total score displayed 0. The activity log revealed small positive actions mixed with terrible ones, including gambling losses, rude outbursts, and deliberately ruining a couple's mood. Hiro cursed his 0 score, realizing this region relied heavily on score-based payments, making even daily necessities difficult without proper standing. Since Masamune Kuki remained unusable, he settled for a basic bat sold at convenience stores, cheap but capable of causing magic damage. The maid admitted she wasn't surprised his score reached 0, considering his usual reckless behavior and constant disregard for other people. She questioned whether this focused version of Hiro was truly the same person she once knew. Someone who never bothered training seriously. Hiro joked that his apology must have shocked her deeply, while she insisted she couldn't lower her guard even against ordinary mobs. Their first encounter arrived suddenly as a butch knight appeared, proving surprisingly tough for what should have been an easy opening battle. More monsters spawned rapidly around them, forcing Hiro to recognize the danger and order an immediate retreat before things worsened further. A mysterious figure intervened, slashing through the horde with practiced ease while shouting for both of them to fall back immediately. The stranger effortlessly destroyed the remaining monsters, then asked bluntly if they were simply dungeon newbies unfamiliar with this dangerous area. The figure turned out to be Lapis Crute La Lumette, one of Esko's 4 main heroines, dressed in a striking outfit. Hiro recognized her as an incredibly wealthy elf princess. Someone players weren't supposed to encounter this early before entering the academy. He admitted quietly he wanted to avoid meeting her too soon, fearing complications tied to her important role within the story. In the original game, Lapis was infamous for executing Hiro instantly, even killing him once over something as trivial as stolen ice cream. Lapis mentioned she almost skipped helping since he was male, though she still acted without thinking once she saw him struggling. Hiro tried leaving quickly, but she insisted on walking him toward the entrance. Unaware her presence terrified him more than the monsters. Confused by his fear, Lapis asked what he actually thought of her, leading Hiro to jokingly call her an eccentric elf pervert. Lapis accused Hiro of staring, though he insisted he wasn't at fault, while the maid questioned exactly where his eyes wandered. She revealed her score reached 30,000, a massive 30,000-point gap that made asking for help seem like the smarter option. When words failed to convince him, Lapis declared she would personally train Hiro herself, demanding he prepare immediately for the lesson. The maid accepted the challenge on his behalf, apologizing for his rudeness and promising to talk sense into him later. Lapis proposed a bet, offering everything if she lost, while Hiro simply wanted her powerful catalyst device if he won instead. The maid warned him that Lapis was a well-known archer, urging him to forfeit before the mismatched duel even began properly. Hiro laughed, admitting he trained hard to beat Lapis before, then let her attack first as an unfair reckless handicap. Lapis quickly noticed he forgot his magic catalyst device entirely, though its high performance meant she still wanted it desperately. Observers noted charging directly at her guaranteed defeat, since her quick reactions and impressive stats favored ranged combat overwhelmingly. Despite expectations, Lapis refused shooting an unarmed opponent, choosing instead to strike his conductor and knock it away completely. Hiro mocked her hesitation, prompting Lapis to click her weapon and abandon all restraint, accusing him of mocking her ability. Startled by his sudden movement, Lapis watched something unexpected happen as Hiro closed the distance and disrupted her stance. Despite her strength, Lapis still froze whenever something unexpected occurred, a flaw Hiro exploited during their intense close combat. Hiro pressed the advantage, striking decisively while Lapis struggled to regain her footing against his unpredictable and aggressive fighting style. He declared victory confidently, though Lapis refused accepting the result, insisting her magic device malfunctioned during the crucial final moment. Hiro revealed he swapped her working conductor with his defective one earlier, using her actual weapon throughout their entire duel. He argued there was no cowardice in battle, blaming her for underestimating an opponent while foolishly holding back her strength. Taking everything as promised, Hiro collected his winnings while Lapis stood defeated, unable to argue against their earlier agreed terms. Seeing her crying quietly afterward, Hiro softened slightly, deciding he would only take one item instead of everything owed. Lapis admitted she'd been busy destroying mobs that gathered nearby during their duel, wielding a nasty club with surprising effectiveness. Lapis promised to return the extra winnings, while Hiro nervously held up a random catalyst, terrified of facing execution for failure. She demanded another match immediately, vowing to go all out from the very start, leaving Hiro dreading the thought of round 2. Hiro realized activating Kuki Masamune successfully meant he likely avoided Lapis's dangerous bad relationship route entirely. Thanks to his previous knowledge, he silently vowed to guide the story toward a world where every heroine could fully enjoy their Yuri without interference. Lapis suddenly declared she was giving up, though Hiro accused her instantly of deliberately trying to throw their ongoing match. She screamed that she was going to die, insisting she already felt like giving up completely against his relentless pressure. Deep within the ruins of an abandoned Tokyo train station, a goblin lunged forward with fangs bared while a bat screeched through the dusty air above the tracks. A gleaming katana flashed and cut through the monsters in a single stroke, ending the fight before either creature could land a hit. Hiro grinned as he examined a fresh drop from the dungeon, admitting that his trusty blade Kuki Masamune kept making these clears easier than expected. Standing near the station exit with a bag full of conductor cores, Hiro figured he had gathered more than enough materials for today's run. A maid crept quietly behind him, and Hiro noticed her presence immediately, deciding it was time to test some real enhancement magic on his blade. The maid glanced around nervously, asking if this truly counted as the lowest level. While Hiro wondered again why she kept tagging along, Samon pointed toward a hooded figure lurking near the pillars, and the maid quickly called out to catch Hiro's attention. The hooded stranger flinched at being spotted, and turned out to be none other than Lapis. badly attempting to disguise herself. Flustered and stammering about coincidence, Lapis tried to play off the encounter as accidental, though her panicked reaction gave her away instantly. Lapis declared this their 100th encounter and insisted fate demanded they settle the score. But Hiro flatly refused to entertain the idea. She pressed further, questioning how someone with his reputation even managed to gain access into the dungeon in the first place. Hiro explained that thanks to his family connections, he never needed the usual permit required by the overseeing agency. He mocked her outfit, noting that an elf princess sneaking around, dressed so oddly, would definitely raise suspicion if spotted. Lapis snapped back, insisting she cared far more about losing repeatedly to him than being seen with someone she considered beneath her. She clarified that she held no real prejudice against him, just the common disdain most held toward men in general. Hiro replied sarcastically, calling their exchange a rare and pleasant conversation worth treasuring given how rude she usually acted. Lapis lashed out with a swift kick, refusing to let him think she was simply acting humble to save face. After more bickering, she demanded he stop stalling and get ready, and Hiro reluctantly agreed to let her have her match. Alone with her thoughts, Lapis admitted something about how he fought yesterday still did not sit right with her. Mid-battle, she shouted a warning as another sneak attack came in, shoving him aside just before the blade struck true. Hiro pulled Lapis close and shielded her body as another dangerous foe crashed into the scene without warning. A massive knight-shaped mob emerged from the rubble, revealing itself as a rare encounter far stronger than the dungeon's usual level. Hiro realized he had unknowingly triggered the conditions after hunting a bunch of similar monsters yesterday, summoning this floating phantom armor. He carried Lapis in his arms since her legs had given out, apologizing while she protested that she could stand on her own. He reminded her the enemy would not simply wait around for her to recover before attacking again. The maid agreed she already planned to head toward the entrance, especially now that Lapis was out of commission, deciding running was the wisest option among strategies. Hiro connected the conductor cores he had gathered into his sword. His spell altered his optic nerves, muscles, and skeleton, generating a mana surface layer across his entire body in an instant. Enhancement projection activated, boosting his speed as Lapis stared in shock, realizing he could also use this rare kind of magic. This power came from Esco magic, a formula deployed through combining conductors, granting him the surface layer boost he needed. Hiro insisted they escape first, knowing the system prevented mobs from chasing players across separate dungeon floors, regardless of strength. The armored mob smashed through the corridor and blocked their only exit with its massive shield before they could get away. Lapis had recovered enough to stand again, and Hiro worried his magic reserves would run out before the mob's durability did. He suggested they continue their match together, since no dimensional gates leading outside had appeared, and the spirit armor could not be ignored. He proposed a new deal, telling her that whoever beat the hunk of metal first would win their ongoing duel. Hiro mocked her hesitation, asking if her earlier tough talk about beating a 30,000 score was truly just an empty show. Lapis admitted she still could not move well but decided to taunt him instead, betting his battle-hungry mind would take the bait. He agreed to lend her his legs so she could smash their opponent. Though she questioned whether teaming up still counted as a match, determined not to lose a single girl from her ideal Yuri garden, Lapis charged forward, vowing to turn the armor into scrap metal. Working together, they coordinated attacks from different angles, calling out gaps and openings as the fierce battle continued on. Lapis snapped back at the armor's taunt, while Hiro noted the armor's true core lay hidden deep inside, protected by tough outer plating. He offered to make himself an easier target, launching Lapis forward so she could strike the exposed weak point directly. Channeling his final burst of physical enhancement, Hiro drove his blade forward with everything he had left in his body. His strike found its mark, piercing straight through the armor's core, while Lapis watched the decisive blow land clean. The phantom armor shattered apart completely, exploding into scattered fragments as Hiro sat back, calling the outcome nothing unexpected. Lapis cheered wildly over their victory, spinning with joy before noticing Hiro had collapsed, drained from burning through all his mana. The maid praised him, admitting no one else could have finished off that pile of scrap, calling it Lapis's complete victory. She added that, thanks to him, she was also spared the trouble of having to report his death to anyone. Lapis pressed him about where his certainty came from, wondering how he stayed so sure he could take down a rare monster. She asked if he could handle the boss on the lowest floor too, since a dimensional gate waited inside its room. When she asked for his name, he answered with a clearly fake one, calling himself Yamada Taro with a proud grin. Lapis found his obvious lie amusing, deciding this fake name settled her ongoing rivalry with him for the time being. The maid warned Lapis that his score of 0 made him someone she should avoid getting further involved with entirely. Hihiro suddenly wondered if Lapis and her maid had tagged along, sensing his Yuri sense whispering something important to him. He imagined their meeting as an excuse for something bigger, gleefully declaring this pairing on first sight the start of a new Yuri story. Back in the outside world, Lapis had one-shot the lowest floor's boss, and days later Hiro returned to his usual daily routine. A girl bumped into him on the street, apologizing quickly while another teased that lingering just a little longer would be fine. Hiro explained running every morning had been his habit since before reincarnation, since stamina mattered greatly for conquering Yuri games. His stats leaned heavily towards stamina since weak magic power in Esco meant only crappy spells and running out fast. Choosing to train through running marathons using body enhancement instead, he suddenly noticed elf-eared mobs appearing more often around him lately. Hiro grabbed a maid mistakenly, but she corrected him coldly, insisting he had the wrong person entirely despite the obvious resemblance. She introduced herself as Maid Delta, mocking him for confusing her with the Sanju family's supposedly perfect and beautiful maid. After his run, Hiro noticed the elves watching him and figured they were gossiping about the rare beast he defeated recently. Lapis scolded him loudly for being late, insisting he should have sent a message if he planned to run for 2 hours. He explained the guard's message forced him to come inside. Otherwise, he would have been stuck waiting outside for nothing. Lapis teased him about lying so smoothly with his innocent smile, questioning why Yamada would even be inside the Sanju estate. She revealed she easily traced his personal information, since nobles with a score of 0 rarely entered dungeons at all. Hihiro noticed elite elven archers gathering nearby, worried this signaled some dramatic scenario involving Lapis and a hidden royal enemy. Lapis casually asked where his room was located, insisting the elves accompanying her carried no strange or suspicious intentions whatsoever. She declared she would start living there immediately, brushing off his protest about girls barging into another person's private home. She reasoned living together would make their ongoing contest more convenient. Unlike their last encounter, which felt like simple cooperation, twirling playfully, Lapis warned Hiro he could never truly escape her now that she decided to move in. Elsewhere, a mysterious figure grew furious upon learning Lapis admitted defeat to a mere human man she longed to fight again. The chapter closed on an ominous tease, hinting Sanju Hiro's next rival would prove to be an incredibly powerful character. Hiro restored home, nearing massive academy home, while sunlight illuminated towering aristocratic design. Lapis reached alongside numerous archery pupils, intense Hiro's silent home using excessive baggage. Hiro clarified inherited possession cautiously, while confused allies ordered help holding items throughout passages inside. The gigantic property contained detached living quarters, leaving Hiro uncertain regarding outcome household oversight duties. Extra guests abruptly crashed through gate doors, forming chaotic scenes surrounding drained residents. Hiro panicked watching numerous elf girls invade peaceful home, converting silent estate. Excited archery pupils explored decorated corridors competitively, arguing loudly while claiming desirable estate bedrooms. Several guests appreciated peculiar art, leaving drained Hiro holding heavy baggage quietly throughout passages. Recalling Makaj archery cautiously, Hiro silently considered troublesome duties involving surprising academy guests. Searching missing allies upstairs, Hiro found extra protectors organizing baggage throughout busy estate spaces. Eased elf girls sought shampoo supplies nearby, as Hiro accidentally came in busy showers. Curious residents talked about Hiro's standing privately, asking reports describing him as irresponsible toward women. Lapis neared Hiro, requesting explanations regarding estate guidelines before discussing private plans together. Smiling assuredly, Lapis suggested occupying Hiro's room because traditional mat spaces lacked comfortable sleeping lodging. Horrified by Lapis's suggestion, Hiro instantly fled downstairs while she cheered positive negotiation enthusiastically. Hiro privately triggered enhancement magic outside estate, while Lapis persisted proposing troublesome household plans. Unleashing skyward uncontrollably, horrified Hiro contrasted ridiculous situation toward absurd adult video game introductions. Sitting alone flustered, Hiro asked disappearing Yuri developments, while enigmatic blasts burst. Lapis neared cheerful Hiro again, suggesting strange cohabitation deals while he contemplated outcome problems. Watching cautiously from space, enigmatic watchers talked about involving extra people within Hiro's chaotic developing connections soon. Arranging lavish meal anxiously, Hiro hurried home before enigmatic academy officials surprisingly reached. Unknown princess sprinted toward estate, intending amicable introductions involving mighty Mikage archery members. Searching frantically throughout nearby garden, Hiro feared hazardous guests might meeting Lapis accidentally before meal arrangements. Enigmatic fighter abruptly faced drained Hiro directly, asking reports surrounding his match against Lapis. Recognizing Lapis thinking earnestly, determined fighter maintained directly evaluating Hiro despite dubious situations surrounding him. The woman formally chose Hiro directly, stating abrupt interest while watching his peculiar accomplishments. Lapis' strongest guardian Astamil presented herself assuredly, instantly attracting notice from surrounding academy. Cheerful Hiro welcomed Astamil, unknowingly provoking hostile responses from defensive watchers surrounding Lapis. Astamil assaulted Hiro mercilessly, weighing him hazardous toward Lapis, despite desperate explanations from surrounding onlookers. Recalling Astamil's frightening standing, scared Hiro understood confronting fabled Judicator meant inevitable pain ahead. Hiro sensed Astamil's murderous strain while arranging frantically against her intense fighting. Astamil unleashed frightening assaults, pushing Hiro activating enhanced enhancement skills while panicking beside crumbling benches. Hiro narrowly fled Astamil's deadly blow, understanding her assaults could instantly kill careless rivals. Astamil momentarily commended Hiro's reactions before casually menacing another assault using her unsheathed weapon. Hiro supported himself while Astamil readied drawing her blade earnestly during their hazardous clash. Stories described Astamil possessing flawless fighting skills, intense arcane skill, and unmatched battlefield development stats. Astamil instantly displayed frightening fighting, pressuring rivals while demanding stronger rivals enter fighting. Hiro attempted deceptive motions against Astamil, yet her intuition entirely predicted every nearing assault. Astamil faulted Hiro's probing moves before retaliating, pushing desperate guarded responses from him. Trapped during brutal exchanges, Hiro eventually identified Astamil's extraordinary quickness and intense fighting training. Astamil spotted Hiro's peculiar guarded technique, acknowledging impressive responses despite intense strain. She intensified assaults, unleashing brutal blows while Hiro tried surviving relentless fighting moves. Entering EI fighting posture, Astamil readied ruinous finishing assaults against scared rivals watching. Understanding impossible win odds, Hiro frantically fled battlefield while Astamil maintained frightening murderous resolve throughout. Trapped abruptly, Astamil witnessed Hiro activating enigmatic systems before withdrawing without pain complete overcome. Astamil abruptly utilized transport moves, shocking Hiro while swiftly seeking him. Understanding Astamil restrained intense power, Hiro sought frantically for life chances during relentless pursuit. Hiro found Astamil's normal sword bypassed catalyst limits, allowing hazardous magic control surprisingly. Activating radiant light magic abruptly, Hiro briefly blinded Astamil before retaliating against nearing blows. Astamil recovered instantly, persisting intense assaults while Hiro supported cautiously against ruinous sword moves. Hiro cheered positive blinding assaults while blasts broken surrounding terrain, disrupting Astamil's relentless pursuit. Astamil steadily commended Hiro's impressive magic skills, despite temporary uncertainty during intense fighting exchanges. Hiro misread Astamil's compliments, thinking arcane tricks compensated against intense fighting drawbacks throughout fights. Deeply impressed, Astamil recognized Hiro surviving EI assaults successfully, despite failing to inflict meaningful damage. Excited abruptly, Astamil announced battling earnestly next, horrifying Hiro while admiring his determined defiance. Astamil readied activating old catalyst powers, while wounded Hiro asked her frightening arcane plans. Chanting holy incantations, Astamil invoked inherited catalyst skills, landed toward fabled ancestral powers. Immense arcane power surrounded Astamil, showing destructive catalyst manifestations in tense nearby area. Embracing impossible situation, Hiro frantically gambled everything remaining against Astamil's intense supernatural skills. Astamil unleashed ruinous holy bow moves, leaving drained Hiro acknowledging catastrophic risk nearing. Hiro panicked after Astamil showed precious holy bow powers during hazardous underground confrontations. Lapis abruptly reached searching worriedly for Hiro, disrupting Astamil's intense arcane attack entirely. Flustered, Astamil clarified impulsive choices while Lapis asked hazardous holy bow usage. Hiro boldly pretended complex schemes succeeded, confusing blameless Lapis regarding surrounding chaotic disaster. Drained severely, Hiro clarified surviving until Lapis reached, while Astamil ordered appropriate explanations. Victorious Hiro showed controlling situation cautiously, pushing Astamil abandoning fighting before watching princesses. Laughing assuredly, Astamil acknowledged overcome gracefully, while Hiro remained stunned beside confused allies. Greatly impressed, Astamil commended Hiro's exceptional potential, saying his unpredictable talents could someday surpass hers. Astamil abruptly sought Hiro becoming her disciple, forming intense intimate uncertainty between surrounding allies. Astamil brightly roused drowsy Hiro before sunrise, stretching comfortably. Confused Hiro cautiously presented himself, asking Astamil's self while anxiously reviewing her peculiar conduct. Astamil boldly declared practice duties, smiling assuredly while watching Hiro's uncertain responses cautiously. She fiercely tested Hiro's skills, demanding sword disaster while unleashing intense assaults continually. Astamil refused polite speech entirely, requesting informal discussions boosting closer company alongside Hiro. Astamil asked to be called Master, triggering awkward uncertainty between their peculiar developing connection. She boldly showed her polite name, entirely ignoring Hiro's flustered complaints and uneasy responses. Hiro envisioned horrifying results, fearing Astamil's brutal anger whenever disrespectful remarks accidentally fled. Astamil fiercely chased panicking Hiro, demanding acknowledgement while charging rashly across vacant practice property. She stubbornly refused discussion fully, pushing frustrated Hiro continually acknowledge her preferred name. Hiro spotted Astamil pouting adorably, becoming confused recalling her earlier hostile conduct toward him. He privately acknowledged Astamil emerged exceptionally cute, despite feeling frustrated regarding her peculiar. Hiro asked Astamil's plans cautiously, triggering flustered responses while discussing their current connection together. Astamil enthusiastically recognized Master, cheerfully celebrating while Hiro suffered intense embarrassment nearby. She boldly announced Hiro beloved disciple, arranging serious practice without clarifying upcoming actions correctly. Astamil readied hazardous sword practice, frightening Hiro while unsheathing Nameless Grave assuredly beside him. She asked Hiro cautiously, discussing Nameless Grave's self while clarifying peculiar weapon traits. Astamil brightly stated hazardous weapons remained perfectly safe, confusing feared Hiro during practice arrangements. Hiro protested frantically against rash practice, clarifying inexperienced skills while Astamil heard quietly nearby. Eventually provided Hiro timber practice gear, she stopping accidental wounds during upcoming fighting drills. Astamil reluctantly allowed hands-on sword practice, cautioning Hiro cautiously before beginning hazardous practice drills. She unleashed intense assaults, pushing terrified Hiro frantically defend himself throughout brutal practice. Hiro barely parried incoming blows, understanding Astamil intentionally restrained intense fighting power against him. Astamil persisted assaulting, demonstrating frightening skills while Hiro recalled mighty gameplay experiences vividly. Hiro identified Astamil's frightening promise, abandoning wishes exploiting unfair advantages during outcome fights. Astamil persisted hands-on practice, ignoring Hiro's complaints while demonstrating relentless sword moves. Hiro slowly adapted, following Astamil's sword motions while blocking hazardous assaults cautiously throughout practice. Astamil intensified intense assaults instantly, pushing drained Hiro frantically defend against unstoppable strain constantly. Hiro slumped agonizingly afterward, grumbling frustratedly while Astamil faulted careless guarded patterns. Assuredly clarified personal fight belief, she thinking win mattered despite pain's severe bodily wounds. Astamil corrected Hiro's posture, while Hiro asked her entirely abnormal fighting methods. Hiro slowly synchronized motions, impressing Astamil while surviving countless hazardous practice blows. Drained Hiro complained frantically regarding Astamil's hostile endurance, comparing her power toward frightening gorillas. Astamil commended Hiro kindly, acknowledging resolve while suggesting temporary academic training during lying breaks. Hiro jokingly said sorry affectionately toward Astamil, while she instantly resumed brutal practice intentions enthusiastically. Astamil asked Hiro's practice element choice while both rested silently. She clarified elemental elements while Hiro studied arcane pairings, enhancing catalyst skills through structured formulas. Hiro chose water elements because helpful pairings boosted coordination skills during hazardous fights. Astamil recommended light elements helping sword moves, although Hiro responded anxiously hearing surprising ideas. Hiro furiously refused light elements, recalling irritating opponents sharing identical skills alongside conceited characters. Hiro talked about alternative weapons while Astamil gently patted his skull calmly. Drained Hiro eventually restored home alone, holding gear cautiously while breathing heavily. Evaded home bathing, Hiro choosing nearby practice center because walking farther seemed troublesome and exhausting. Hiro came in the vacant practice room, searching routes toward showers before beginning practice sessions. He elapsed the weapon display, deciding dungeon fights remained better practice chances for development. Hiro came in vacant bath center alone, thinking numerous unused spaces formed pointless waste. He eased beneath warm water calmly before leaving showers holding fresh clothes. Hiro surprisingly found undressed Lapis bathing, triggering immediate uncertainty throughout the silent bath chamber. Lapis screamed loudly while slipping backward, pushing Hiro withdrawing anxiously from hazardous confusions. Flustered Hiro ridiculed his awful luck, understanding stereotypical accidents continually trailed ridiculous game situations. Hiro accidentally collided beside Lapis while enigmatic killers abruptly invaded busy bath center. Secret assailants seized Hiro, triggering him freezing after recognizing hazardous murder moves. Lapis shielded Hiro while he identifying disguised killers, using prohibited shadow weapons as Muir. Muir disregarded Hiro entirely, focusing fully upon capturing Lapis despite chaotic defiance. Extra protectors eventually came in showers abruptly, leaving Lapis and Hiro surrounded beside stunned onlookers. Lapis's allies misread Hiro instantly, thinking spoiled plans motivated his dubious conduct. Lapis clarifying accidental situation while protectors examined hazardous confusions surrounding bath events. Protectors spotted Hiro endured Astamil's brutal practice, recognizing peculiar stamina beneath severe wounds and marks. Muir understood misjudging Hiro, becoming dubious her intuition failed detecting secret hazardous plans. Abruptly, Astamil attempted calming Strain calmly while scared Hiro understood Muir already considered him hazardous foe. Astamil recognized duty, clarifying Hiro's fatigue triggered accidental confusions during chaotic bath events. Muir abruptly confronted Hiro, leaving confused responses spreading throughout busy practice halls. Competitors readied amicable contests cautiously, while different countries and houses gathered together. Hiro felt isolated anxiously while Astamil jokingly ridiculed, arranged anger surrounding upcoming competitive fights against rivals. She sought Lapis helping Sanjo family strategically, planning limits balancing intense Makaj bowmen. Astamil surprisingly chose a figure helping upcoming contests, leaving Hiro stunned beside unknown female competitors. Hiro asked Astamil's choice, examining Rei as existence as Rei herself readied. Hiro restored home stunned, finding Rei reached alongside Astamil and the servant. She asked their peculiar connection. Hiro presented Rei as younger sister, while Rei talked about property reports cautiously, confirming staff already spread stories regarding Hiro bringing elves inside openly. Hearing strange claims surrounding him, Hiro understood confusion swiftly increased throughout Sanjo household because surprising guests emerged. Rei coldly asked Hiro's plans toward accompanying elves, while uncomfortable strain instantly filled surrounding mood. Rei asked Hiro suspiciously, while Lapis denied becoming intimate partner within Sanjo household reports. Strain escalated promptly after Rei harshly cautioned wandering elves against disrespecting prominent Sanjo family power. Hiro disrupted firmly, guarding Rei while stopping sentimental disputes worsening confusions between everyone gathered. Rei said sorry steadily, clarifying inquiries regarding Hiro's controversial reports motivated her surprising look. Rei coldly silenced interfering servant Snow, while Hiro sensed complex feelings secret beneath her composed expression. Snow quietly watched Rei cautiously, while secret envy and suspicion slowly. Hiro recalled Rei usually hid real emotions, triggering uncertainty whenever discussions became emotionally. Feared strain remained unresolved. Hiro asked Rei staying overnight, hoping peaceful discussions could repair damaged connections. Rei instantly misread Hiro's request, accusing him jokingly while Snow watched their awkward exchange quietly. Flustered, Rei acknowledged expecting inappropriate conduct ultimately, showing suspicion toward Hiro's notorious standing. Hiro asked earlier Sanjo Hiro's conduct, understanding original standing remained unbelievably worse. Astamil overstated growing strain theatrically, while Hiro feared confusions might create hazardous clashes. Ignoring serious mood, Hiro casually talked about meal stew, confusing everyone involved within sentimental household. Hiro maintained stew stopped disputes somehow, while Astamil assuredly assisted his ridiculous logic beside everyone. Arranging gear, allies arranged upcoming contest cautiously while assigning Hiro's younger sister major support. Amicable practice contest resumed formally, while she teamed Sanjo officials because intense power gaps. Lapis overstated meal prizes, while Hiro feared ridiculous contest conditions urged unnecessary clashes. Grumbling, she blamed Hiro for unreasonable claims while everyone readied anxiously before beginning. Overwhelmed entirely, Lapis nearly dropped duties before allies caused her concentration. Ray refused pointless teamwork coldly, arranging weapons earnestly while Lapis confronted her confident attitude directly afterward. Ray displayed intense spear moves, cautioning rivals about results behind careless withdrawing. Stating gap contest, Ray confronted Shi directly while displaying intimidating confidence before surrounding onlookers. Ray sought escorting Shi directly, leaving Hiro confused while allies hurried toward practice arrangements. Smiling casually, Hiro maintained Shi deserved polite care despite losing royal status and power. She said sorry beforehand, acknowledging she never restrained herself correctly while both opposing sides readied weapons. Ray and Shi traded jagged provocations assuredly, refusing backing down before onlookers. Practice contest officially began, while Ray hurried forward fiercely challenging Shi with intense fighting. Ray's spear assault unleashed Lapis backward, surprising everyone watching intense clash from nearby practice property. Recovering promptly, Shi parried Ray's hazardous strike skillfully, pushing brief praise from her determined. She assaulted earnestly, insisting amicable contests still needed complete strength despite everyone expecting innocuous. She rushed toward Ray, unleashing swift assaults while Ray steadily watched incoming motions. She leaped above Ray, trying final blows, while Ray narrowly supported herself during hazardous exchanges. Ray counterattacked fiercely, swinging her spear powerfully and pushing Shi backward through intense continuous strain. She abruptly evaded Ray's gap, surprising Ray entirely before unleashing another hazardous close-range counterattack. Recovering promptly, Ray readied another assault earnestly, while Shi assuredly advanced forward, refusing surrender. She unleashed an intense finishing blow toward Ray, pushing Ray into hazardous guarded motions. She cheered narrowly missing Ray, while Ray instantly shifted herself cautiously before another assault. Lapis abruptly joined the fight beside Shi, surprising Ray entirely while their coordination intensified. Ray cautioned Lapis harshly during fighting, faulting her unsteady motions while persisting intense exchanges. Ray steadily studied the earlier assault, understanding her quick response stopped serious wounds. Ray acknowledged the Mikage Bowman power while enduring fatigue from continuous fighting against coordinated rivals. Hiro asked Ray anxiously about win odds, but Ray answered cautiously while hiding serious worries. Ray clarified Lapis remained their greatest edge because sealed gear faded the opposing Mikage Bowman considerably. Lapis accidentally disrupted during fighting exchanges, disrupting coordinated assaults while surprising both allies and rivals. Lapis said sorry uneasily after colliding into another combatant, triggering uncertainty throughout the ongoing chaotic amicable contest events. She shielded Lapis cautiously after the princess slumped drained, leaving Ray alone. She abruptly staggered mid-battle after stepping onto something surprising, forming uncertainty. Lapis recovered promptly, cautioning Shi while observing secret risk nearing swiftly from Ray's advancing assault path. Understanding the gap, Ray unleashed a mighty final blow directly toward Shi without hesitation. Ray's intense assault landed against Shi, ending the intense clash while surrounding combatants watched quietly. Ray lunged fiercely toward Shi, exchanging swift spear blows across the busy practice chamber. Shi countered fiercely, smashing Ray's shoulder while determined onlookers watched their hazardous competitive sparring. Both combatants landed simultaneous assaults, pushing officials instantly stating the intense match entirely evenly. Ray assisted drained Shi cautiously, acknowledging impressive skills despite marks covering both combatants fully. Shi said sorry genuinely beside smiling Ray, respecting their competition following emotionally rushed fighting drills. Ray and Shi smiled, shaking hands while nearby students silently watched their peace. Hiro taunted Lapis, relieving strain while Ray appreciated their restored friendship entirely. Lapis ridiculed Hiro's intimate ideas, predicting closer connections developing during the upcoming overnight stay. Hiro offered enthusiastically joining everyone overnight, while Ray asked his abrupt involvement suspiciously. Mira neared quietly holding weapons, ignoring Hiro's greeting offer before arranging herself. Hiro refusing disrespect while enjoying her flustered response nearby silently afterward. Lapis menaced Hiro furiously, although reluctantly depending entirely upon his guarded fighting skills. Miura assaulted abruptly before signs emerged, pushing stunned Hiro, instantly dodging hazardous sweeping blows. Lapis presented herself boldly while confronting disguised Miura directly during their tense competitive. Lapis teamed beside Hiro, demanding equal care before beginning coordinated assaults against Miura together. Hiro parried Miura's shock attack, ridiculing her repeated assaults from secret spots. Lapis coordinated smoothly beside Hiro, intense Mirror briefly through synchronized guarded motions and retaliations. Hiro raised Lapis easily while evading Mirror's relentless blows across the busy. Ray watched cautiously, commending Hiro and Lapis for keeping flawless coordination against Mirror. Mirror lunged forward, while Lapis relied on Hiro entirely before executing another coordinated move. Snow and Lapis identified their coordination enhancing naturally, surprising nearby watchers. Hiro contrasted synchronized motions beside Lapis toward dancing, intense Muir, through graceful coordinated. Lapis unleashed Muir backward forcefully, while Hiro trailed, keeping relentless strain together throughout fighting. Hiro spotted drained Muir struggling heavily, understanding their coordination steadily trapped her. Hiro assaulted downward abruptly, but Muir twisted surprisingly while stunned onlookers watched. Muir abruptly counterattacked Hiro, gaining surprised acknowledgement while Lapis steadily announced win. Hiro joked uneasily beside frustrated Lapis, blaming accidental errors stopping their certain win. Lapis punched grumbling Hiro continually while Silent Ray neared gradually watching their dispute. Ray gazed confused toward proposed cloths, asking surprising warmth from Snow. She boldly functioned for home-cooked Japanese stew, assuredly introducing meals inside their collecting place. Hiro readied meal, joking casually while stirring massive food pans inside busy kitchen cautiously. Helpful staff helped Hiro, surprising Lapis because anger slowly disappeared following reincarnation situation. Snow clarified Hiro's enhancing standing, while Ray heard quietly. Ray silently watched everyone's growing proximity, emerging thoughtful while standing alone near darkened corridors. Ray abruptly left quietly, leaving confused Hiro and curious Lapis watching her disappearing. Lapis ordered hamburger steak, while Hiro refused please because their side previously lost together. Hiro spotted flustered Lapis standing intently beside him, while she supported her royal dignity. He feared silently about gloomy Muir, observing her peculiar quiet during meal arrangements. Lapis clarified defensive Bowman triggered confusions, while apologizing genuinely toward patient Hiro. Hiro joked boldly about Lapis bathing earlier, triggering instant embarrassment and furious reactions. Hiro playfully commanded Lapis to leave permanently, unintentionally startling her emotionally. Hiro clarified defensive worries uneasily, while Lapis heard silently beside him with growing uncertainty. Tearful Lapis acknowledged isolation, clarifying Hiro remained her first trustworthy friend outside Alfheim. Furious Bowman surrounded terrified Hiro, pushing desperate apologies while crying Lapis supported him. Lapis admitted distrusting males, though Hiro's warmth slowly changed her emotions. Lapis comforted Hiro kindly, insisting gender never mattered while blushing beside him cheerfully. Hiro reconsidered taunting Lapis further, fearing results from defensive Mikage Bowman seeking fiercely. He spotted Ray privately leaving passages, becoming concerned while following her upstairs. Hiro reached the stargazing deck alone, finding enigmatic quiet surrounding the upper lookout chamber. He cautiously sought upper floors, believing peculiar activity despite expecting vacant area nearby. Hiro found Ray relaxing inside lookout, becoming uneasy after surprisingly following her upstairs. Ray asked flustered Hiro beside her steadily, allowing discussion beneath silent night heavens calmly. Hiro uneasily spotted Ray recently bathed, struggling to conceal embarrassment while sitting alongside her. Ray asked Hiro cautiously regarding match plans, while he acknowledged deliberately avoiding hazardous assaults previously. Hiro eventually understood Mir's intense devotion toward Lapis, deeply respecting her unwavering loyalty. Ray heard while Hiro clarified losing emotionally despite surviving their hazardous clash. Hiro hopefully described a dependable marriage, but Ray stayed uncertain after enduring countless betrayals. Ray admitted distrusting everyone because kin influenced her youth, care, self, duties, and isolation. Hiro recalled Ray paying brutal family abuse continually, stopping trust toward anybody throughout youth. Ray mocked Hiro harshly afterward, yet privately valued his persistence beside her. Ray admitted distrusting everyone, while Hiro silently watched her distressing sentimental. Recalled repeated treachery, Rei asking houses exploiting her trust throughout youth. Hiro panicked anxiously after Rei blamed Kin, abandoning her entirely despite desperate pain. Rei furiously refused Hiro's warmth, thinking mercy reached far too late, shielding nobody anymore. She fled downstairs angrily afterward, while Hiro tried calming himself before chasing her. Hiro feared rescuing Rei might destroy connections surrounding Sanjo family's complex sentimental clashes. Hiro met Snow serving faithfully downstairs, understanding another secret bond existed within Sanjo household. Snow neared Hiro, arranging heartfelt plea cautiously while hiding uncertain feelings beneath professional composure. Snow anxiously asked Hiro dining next Saturday, offering membership passes while avoiding eye contact. Hiro journeyed downtown alone, recalling recent clashes involving Rei before meeting specialized staff again. Lapis asked Hiro uneasily about preferred meals, triggering confused responses during their informal discussion. She faulted Hiro earnestly, surprised he eventually expressed honest views without hiding embarrassment anymore. Lapis ordered compensation from Hiro playfully, blaming earlier errors before requesting appropriate amusement later. Hiro feared openly dating Princess Lapis dangerously attracted notice despite her silly costume effort. Lapis taunted flustered Hiro ceaselessly, enjoying his uneasy responses while linking arms intently beside him. Hiro understood surrounding couples acted similarly, reducing suspicions regarding their peculiar social connection. Lapis acknowledged respecting Hiro directly, despite uncertainty regarding males existing within Yuri game societies everywhere. Hiro recognized Lapis's interest gratefully, offering company while persisting their peculiar downtown trip together. Lapis instantly sought changing clothes first, while Hiro suggested lunch before academy arrangements. Hiro assuredly vowed costly food outside towering structures, boldly representing the esteemed Sanjo family openly. Reception staff refused Hiro, denying entry despite his membership pass and family background. Flustered Hiro said sorry sadly, while Lapis urged simpler food instead of lavish venues. Lapis asked Hiro's poor care earnestly, insisting stubbornly seeing another venue location together instead. Hiro met Sanjo family protectors surprisingly while accompanying disguised Lapis. Rei emerged surrounded by imposing bodyguards, startling Hiro and instantly freezing nearby pedestrians. Hiro parted from Lapis, privately arranging another meal request before entering limited zones alone. Snow neared Hiro privately, anxiously clarifying peculiar pleas while struggling expressing personal emotions. She bowed deeply before Rei, frantically insisting Hiro remained the sole dependable person available. Snow wept frantically before Hiro, pleading emotionally for someone major receiving immediate rescue help. Hiro recalled hazardous outcome incidents, understanding involvement could earnestly disrupt preordained academy scenarios. He refused abandoning Snow, deciding personal convictions mattered beyond Sanjo family duties and demands. Soothed trembling Snow gently, Hiro reassuring her silently while arranging immediate move intentions cautiously. Hiro vowed to solve everything, bringing relieved Snow to uncontrollable tears beside him. Rei watched quietly beside crying Snow, while Hiro left holding determined duties alone. Hiro readied immediate move decisively, refusing terrible outcomes where endless sorrow persisted, destroying everyone. Inside lavish venue, Rei heard quietly while Kin faulted inappropriate conduct, damaging major family standing. Elder family heads sternly reminded Rei keeping honor remained essential for every esteemed Sanjo woman. Rei neared dining table, arranging polite response while tense Kin watched her motions throughout uncomfortable. The elder asked Rei, suggesting peculiar bond toward Hiro recently influenced her nature and choices. Rei supported Hiro, while Kin blamed changing conduct for forming unnecessary problems surrounding major family matters. Kin ridiculed Rei, claiming Hiro's basic present fated thinking expected from outcome family control. Elder family members cautioned Rei harshly, insisting sentimental negligence menaced honor surrounding major Sanjo succession traditions. Abruptly disciplined forcefully, Rei slumped while rigid Kin ordered obedience through frightening bodily training. Watching quietly, Hiro understood Rei's personal choices never existed within directing Sanjo family demands. Rei remained isolated emotionally, while harsh Kin persisted humiliating care without showing mercy. Young Rei smiled softly beside pond waters, innocently talking toward tiny fish. Rei silently asked whether somebody someday would eventually become her valued family. Because direct heirs never existed, prominent kin chose orphaned Rei cautiously for Sanjo family succession duties. Reaching from distant orphan home center, Rei met stern kin instantly judging her unknown look. Household staff mocked Rei cruelly, ridiculing dirty look while scared kids suffered humiliation. Young Rei wept frantically while staff threw away precious shoes gifted affectionately. Household staff refused Rei's bond, insisting outcome Sanjo leaders abandon normal belongings and sentimental flaws. Rei's former guardian reached pleading, but prominent kin coldly severed their remaining bond permanently. Isolated from everyone recognizable, isolated Rei slowly dropped personal self while becoming formal Sanjo family successor. Rigid family rules regulated Rei's look, schooling, conduct, and daily habits. Young Rei learned rigid manners endlessly, understanding minor errors asked punishment. Teachers and kin disciplined Rei harshly whenever imperfect conduct flustered prominent family members. Elder kin mocked Rei, demanding polish while convincing scared kid she remained worthless and unclean. Recalling deceased family, Rei understood every comforting recollection disappeared entirely beneath intense training and loneliness surrounding her. Crying alone, Rei frantically asked how joy could possibly exist within unbearable family situation. She confided distressing emotions toward amicable pond fishes, treating them like precious sentimental allies. Thinking pond allies shielded joy, Rei persisted, enduring harsh care while depending emotionally. Finding dead fishes floating lifelessly, Rei froze entirely while intense misery broken remaining sentimental balance. Kin ridiculed Rei cruelly, cautioning succession goals remained impossible for someone emotionally weak and isolated. Caused into elegant appearances, Rei understood normal joy disappeared beneath demands surrounding elite Sanjo family duties. Rei changed herself entirely, thinking flawless conduct portrayed appropriate honor expected from esteemed Sanjo family. During official gatherings, Rei acted flawlessly, memorizing graceful motions while hiding fatigue behind trained grins. Abruptly encountering unknown comment, Rei responded anxiously after enigmatic outsider ridiculed her. Strange girl contrasted Rei toward emotionless figures, claiming true liberty and personal wishes disappeared from her. A tattooed man watched Rei quietly, recognizing secret pain buried deeply beneath cautiously maintained flawlessness and obedience. Rei trained control skills cautiously, directing invisible threads while copying Sanjo family conduct. She thought her control remained imperfect, although normal others entirely disregarded invisible threads. Visitors continually commended Rei gracefully, making her realize praise became surprisingly easy getting. She thought directing Sanjo demands cautiously would ensure life throughout adulthood without trouble. However, Rei slowly heard comments surrounding Hiro, her unwelcome older brother, everywhere nearby. Rei recalled comforting animation moments, imagining Hiro behaving affectionately toward her despite isolation. Thinking sibling ties shielded houses forever, Rei privately valued impossible wishes involving Hiro deeply. Rei envisioned understanding Hiro someday, despite both pain differently within demanding Sanjo family demands. While abandoning unrealistic dreams slowly, Rei abruptly got enigmatic personal note spoke to. Reading Hiro's birthday note joyfully, Rei felt forgotten comfort returning inside her isolated heart. Rei cheerfully envisioned loving sibling ties, thinking Hiro genuinely cared about her deeply forever. Excitedly gap Hiro's note privately, Rei anticipated heartfelt birthday wishes from him genuinely inside. Instead, Hiro ordered cash recklessly, crushing Rei's demands while ignoring her birthday entirely. Recalling Hiro's self-centered conduct continually, young Rei recognized reports describing him negatively precise. Hiro influenced fragile kin, convincing young Rei joy always resulted treachery and disappointment. Family seniors mistreated Rei harshly, pushing obedience while selecting outcome Sanjo control choices. Harsh matriarch influenced Rei, teaching suspicion while commending emotionally detached conduct above mercy. Slumped beside lifts, Rei pursued impossible demands ordered throughout merciless Sanjo traditions. Elevator doors abruptly checked, showing enigmatic fighter holding weapons directly toward scared kin inside. Recognizing Hiro instantly, terrified kin watched him forcefully assault foes menacing Rei. Entering assuredly, Hiro ridiculed the elder while matriarch commanded transport arranging immediate retreat. Hiro flipped feast desks, demanding notice while refusing abandonment from terrified family members. Smiling arrogantly, Hiro accepted Notorious standing entirely, acting fearless before foes menacing Rei nearby inside a state. Weaponed Hiro disrupted meal, shocking visitors while menacing everyone targeting Rei's succession claims. Hiro asked terrified staff, believing someone privately influenced Rei's cautiously planned feast arrangements. Examining dubious membership passes, Hiro understood secret plotters deliberately undermined Rei through deceptive actions. Rei quietly evaluated Hiro's conduct cautiously, while he confronted conceited protectors surrounding drained Rei. Hiro taunted hostile leaders intentionally before enigmatic assailants abruptly unleashed hazardous explosives inside corridors. Hiro triggered enhanced enhancement moves, retaliating weaponed foes charging rashly throughout busy feast room. Swinging electrified weapons, Hiro overwhelmed hostile rivals while avoiding serious wounds during chaotic confrontations. Explosive blasts broken furnishings, sending assailants crashing brutally across damaged dining zones. Hiro unleashed another foe flying, shocking scared leaders seeing surprising fighting skills. Drained from earlier practice, Hiro readied persisting fights despite intense foes nearing hazardous corridors ceaselessly. Surrounded, Hiro remained calm while weighing plans shielding scared feast visitors nearby. Secret leaders privately commanded murders, triggering Hiro understanding hazardous plots regulated. Disturbed protectors asked murdering Hiro, while merciless leaders maintained defeating troublesome Sanjo heirs. Furious seniors condemned Hiro's bloodline, ordering fighters unleash ruinous arcane assaults throughout busy corridors. Huge darkness magic burst forcefully, pushing terrified visitors escaping frantically while Hiro readied desperate responses alone. Rei witnessed frightening darkness magic firsthand, understanding mighty Kin genuinely planned murdering Hiro. Recalling youth incidents, Snow asked why defensive Hiro abruptly became hated among Sanjo Kin. Relied on with enigmatic duties, timid Snow slowly built sentimental bonds while recalling Hiro's surprising warmth. Curious others asked Hiro's connection with Snow, while defensive conduct confused everyone. Walking through busy corridors, Snow suffered abuse calmly while watching dubious motions. Snow faced hostile Kin, guarding Rei while menacing results against anyone triggering abuse. Using secret records, Snow gathered undeniable proof exposing branch houses controlling surrounding Rei. Rei remained calm quietly, while Snow furiously described abusive Kin assaulting blameless family members. Snow sought convincing responses cautiously, hoping recorded proof would expose plotters. Rei relied on Snow entirely because loyal defense parted her from Sanjo Kin surrounding. Snow soothed bedridden Rei gently, promising unwavering backing despite family clashes surrounding them. Snow showed heartfelt vows, thinking someone major ultimately would rescue isolated Rei. Mentioning Hiro, Snow maintained enigmatic warmth someday would eventually bring joy toward Rei. Confused by Snow's strange forecasts, Rei asked impossible claims regarding Hiro's outcome transformation. Watching intense darkness, Hiro refused impossible predictions while arranging desperate counterattack against foes. During practice, Hiro sensed peculiar oddities while dodging assaults from fiercely rivals. Watching incoming blows, Hiro understood enhanced awareness allowed effortless responses. Hiro countered without arcane help, surprising rivals through precise motions and battlefield focus. Recalling earlier training, Hiro asked whether accumulated power could overcome assailants simultaneously. Calculating remaining endurance, Hiro sought frantically for efficient magic before fatigue overwhelmed him. Surrounded during fighting, Hiro invoked radiant light magic, arranging desperate retaliations against nearing fighters. Analyzing arcane mechanisms, Hiro altered catalyst traits, converting innocuous light into hazardous shots. Assuredly provoking assailants, Hiro confronted rivals directly while privately arranging explosive arcane rounds. Hiro fired concentrated blasts, blasting foes backward while destroying surrounding practice gear. Terrified people witnessed huge disaster, while stunned bystanders tried fleeing arcane blasts. Blasts broken surrounding structures forcefully, pushing terrified people scrambling frantically beneath crumbling fragments. Hiro hurried toward Rei, shielding scared Snow, while hazardous disaster persisted, spreading uncontrollably. Recalling original plotline, Rei recalled enigmatic discussions occurring before major diplomatic talks involving elves. Rei neared Snow steadily beside benches, requesting immediate explanations regarding dubious town situation. Abruptly, Astamil emerged holding senseless Snow, shocking Rei while showing surprising developments. Astamil presented herself boldly, recognizing Hiro instantly while mentioning their master-disciple connection. Rei responded anxiously after learning Astamil possessed power among elves alongside intense arcane power. Despite awful reports surrounding Hiro, Astamil supported his character following earlier encounters. Rei suspected Hiro hid secret motivations, despite enduring abuse from prominent Sanjo kin. Astamil asked Rei toward nearby town, hoping everyone directly examined Hiro's dubious situation together. Snow clarified Hiro's altruistic deeds changed Rei's views regarding trustworthy others existing. Shielding people bravely, Hiro battled hazardous assailants fiercely while shielding blameless others from disaster. Huge blasts broken surrounding buildings forcefully, pushing everyone seeing fight toward intense terror. Hiro persisted endangering himself rashly, thinking risking everything remained necessary shielding Rei safely forever. Watching Hiro suffer terribly, Rei eventually understood his resolve genuinely favored shielding people before himself. Snow and Astamil acknowledged Hiro's bravery, understanding his deeds entirely contradicted notorious reports. Shielding the allies, Hiro transported scared Rei through crumbling ruins, while foes surrounded nearby. Rei eventually recognized Hiro's transformation, seeing intense resolve helping everyone despite hazardous situation. Rei found ruined spaces while drained Hiro neared cautiously, hiding hazardous fight wounds. She asked Hiro's rash deeds while recovering silently beside ripped covers inside damaged home. Hiro announced shielding Yuri connections remained focus above everyone, endangering life without hesitation. Re-examined Sanjo property events while Hiro readied blades, hiding distressing recollections from everyone. Hiro vowed complete defense genuinely, triggering her silent shock beside covers underneath moonlight. An assassin ambushed Hiro abruptly, pushing stunned responses while hazardous shots fell swiftly nearby. Jagged fragments hit Hiro forcefully, sending blood across passages while foes pursued ceaselessly. Hiro crashed through towering panes powerlessly, falling dangerously above busy roads. He seized his sword mid-air, arranging desperate retaliation before reaching busy roads below promptly. Rei watched senseless Hiro collapse nearby, while another weaponed assailant neared fiercely through disaster. Hiro crashed forcefully through panes while frantically clutching metal bars above busy roads below. Injured Hiro suffered severe agony quietly, while Rei shouted anxiously beside crumbling broken buildings. Rei faced disguised attackers bravely, while Matriarch watched silently beside dropped weapons. Matriarch showed secret catalyst tool steadily, while ordering Rei aside during escalating hazardous clash. Refused grandmother's orders, Rei shielding damaged area while arranging defiance against nearing foes. Rei supported Hiro passionately while injured Hiro climbed upward, struggling across broken hazardous buildings. Matriarch cautioned Rei continually about treachery, while Hiro heard quietly beside ruined area. Matriarch described intense misery, triggering Rei's scared expression beside frightening supernatural images emerging. Rei trembled agonizingly while clutching enigmatic item tightly as Matriarch commanded complete obedience. She gripped precious item anxiously while wounded Hiro remained slumped across broken glass. Hiro understood Rei transported enigmatic signs while exploring hazardous lookout events. Hiro furiously faced Matriarch, denouncing harsh control triggering Rei's sentimental pain throughout hazardous clashes. Family Head ignored Rei's emotions while clarifying rigid demands surrounding Sanjal family succession duties. Matriarch menaced Hiro directly, stating inevitable sacrifice necessary for preserving Sanjo family's outcome. Drained Hiro asked life odds quietly while severe wounds faded, remaining arcane energy constantly inside. Young Rei pleaded frantically for rescue while injured Hiro witnessed horrifying disaster nearby. Hiro recognized duty agonizingly while holding damaged sword, pushing resolve despite intense fatigue remaining. Rei understood Hiro alone could rescue people, while Matriarch readied another hazardous assault nearby instantly. Hiro rushed angrily toward foes, screaming loudly while unleashing desperate power across crumbling buildings nearby. Weaponed fighters shielded Matriarch directly, while arranging brutal clash against nearing injured Hiro. Hiro parried deadly sword assaults frantically, while confronting enigmatic fighters shielding hazardous foes. Injured Hiro slumped momentarily while weaponed fighter advanced cautiously beside Matriarch and scared Rei. Hiro identified recognizable regulated gaze instantly, triggering Rei's stunned response during hazardous clash. Fighter showed Sanjo family control truths while Matriarch ordered immediate removal against wounded Hero. Hero supported himself fiercely again, blocking incoming blade blows despite severe wounds weakening constantly. Hero traded intense sword blows constantly while enigmatic Fighter pressured him across crumbling battlefield buildings. Drained Hero acknowledged depleted magic stores while struggling frantically against relentless foe assaults. Ri watched quietly from space while injured combatants crashed forcefully across broken floors nearby. Ri pleaded Hero calmly stop battling while wounded combatants persisted clashing fiercely nearby despite fatigue. Hero asked Fighter emotionally, denouncing grandmother's rule while demanding liberty for pain people. Ri refused preordained fate emotionally while intense fight persisted forcefully between drained combatants. Injured Hero suffered another brutal blow while watching Ri's scared expression during hazardous clash. Hero vowed destroying oppressive rule entirely despite severe wounds weakening his damaged frame constantly. He announced Ri deserved personal liberty entirely, refusing grandmother's directing demands during distressing fight. Hero urged Ri expressing secret wishes frankly while Matriarch condemned his rash status. Hero recalled Ri's birthday cautiously while promising fulfill her normal desire. Matriarch opposed Ri's honesty furiously while Ri asked distressing existence within directing Sanjo family traditions. Ri admitted isolation tearfully, showing distressing refusal throughout life inside rigid Sanjo family demands. She acknowledged wanting birthday celebrations genuinely, while eventually expressing secret emotions without terror anymore. Injured Hero smiled kindly beside disaster, while genuinely wishing Ri happy birthday during sentimental clash. Ri wept uncontrollably while clutching precious band tightly beside distressing crumbling sentimental area. Enigmatic Fighter assaulted Hero ceaselessly again, while activating hazardous weapon systems during brutal clash. Hero remained stunned quietly while frightening dark power burst abruptly from assaulting Fighter fiercely. Ri screamed frantically while Matriarch watched boldly beside Fighter nearing injured Hero fiercely. Drained Hero readied final assault agonizingly while offering specific birthday present toward Ri. Hero unleashed ruinous assaults bravely, enduring awful wounds while defeating hazardous Fighter forcefully. Severely wounded Hero smiled assuredly, stating inevitable win through Master's lessons, despite crumbling bodily state remaining. Hero remained bleeding above defeated foes while scared onlookers watched quietly, understanding his single blow entirely changed their position. The Matriarch inspected Hero's awful injuries, acknowledging the drained combatant endured despite pain a direct assault without crumbling. Hero hacked agonizingly beside Rei while his damaged frame faded further, triggering his sword abruptly falling downstairs. The stunned Matriarch asked Hero's unnatural stamina while the injured teenager tried standing, refusing surrender despite intense fatigue and agony. Seeing Hero still resisting, the Matriarch instantly dropped fighting, drawing secret guns before unleashing another hazardous attack toward him. Hero lifted his damaged limb toward the Matriarch while dark energy spread forcefully. Hero neared the Matriarch steadily before smashing his features brutally, demanding acknowledgement for Rei's secret pain and isolation. Recalling Rei's distressing youth, Hero condemned the harsh family controlling her feelings while ignoring her desperate sentimental loneliness for years. Rei anxiously spoke to Hero while arranging showing details about another kid landed intently with their hazardous family clash and truths. She envisioned peaceful joy involving celebrations, caring family, playful fatigue, warm rest, and eventually sharing life beside valued allies forever. Hero furiously refused the family's harsh views, stating Rei deserved liberty instead of remaining trapped beneath pointless demands forever. Menaced the Matriarch fiercely, he demanding payback for Rei's pain while stunned onlookers understood his nature entirely changed. The furious Matriarch dropped control, rushing toward drained Hero while holding her gun tightly and screaming hateful abuse. While Hero tried using enhancement magic, the Matriarch ridiculed his frailty cruelly, denying his value as Rei's defensive brother fully. Rei abruptly guarded injured Hero from the grandmother's gun, frantically shielding him while ignoring serious risk menacing both family. The Matriarch readied shooting again, but her weapon abruptly shattered apart entirely, leaving her stunned beside nearing risk. Astamil reached holding blades assuredly, ridiculing the grandmother's weapon usage while shielding injured Hero beside the ruined building quietly. She announced neutrality regarding family clashes, cautioning the Matriarch instantly against harming Hero further, despite earlier pleas avoiding involvement fully. Lapis emerged beside Astamil, surprising the matriarch entirely, while publicly announcing backing against anyone menacing their relied on allies. Hero eased slightly beside them while discussing plan casually, allowing surrounding strain eventually easing despite their recent hazardous clash. Hero's consciousness dimmed during fight while desperate calls called toward him. Understanding his damaged vision could barely function, Hero roused inside a silent chamber confused entirely, observing unknown area before seeing somebody watching quietly above him. Still heavily injured, Hero tried gap his gaze fully while agony spread throughout his drained frame, lying motionless across bed quietly. Rei gently welcomed roused Hero while helping his injured skull cautiously, triggering him becoming entirely stunned by their surprising bodily proximity. She steadily clarified her deeds earnestly while flustered Hero asked the lap pillow position, observing her secret embarrassment behind composed conduct. Rei remained stunned while surprising guests came in loudly, disrupting the awkward mood surrounding injured Hero lying comfortably. He said sorry genuinely for involving Hero within hazardous family clashes, while he steadily recognized duty shielding her from secret hardships. Rei clarified the terrible outcome awaiting their family, showing how control ultimately destroyed Hero's self and isolated him entirely forever. Hero said sorry weakly toward Rei, understanding she suffered intense strain alone while he persisted endangering himself shielding her continually. Rei tearfully supported Hero's warmth while he vowed helping her joy permanently, embracing her food gratefully despite fatigue from fight. Rei attempted serving injured Hero cautiously, but he uneasily maintained eating independently despite his heavily bandaged state and frailty. Rei sampled her home-cooked meal first anxiously, hoping reassuring Hero while he responded theatrically toward her dubious food effort. Hero faulted the awful meal frankly, but Rei became surprisingly happy because his blunt response felt entirely sincere toward her. Urged by Hero's response, Rei cheerfully vowed enhancing further while he frantically caused himself persisting eating the distressing meal stubbornly. Rei shyly asked Hero about her lap pillow relief, while he internally panicked understanding every response only deepened embarrassing care further. Lying against Rei's lap, Hero became entirely sidetracked observing her black stockings while she innocently. Rei misread Hero's embarrassment, thinking encouragement would help him recover while he frantically resisted inappropriate ideas internally. Rei anxiously readied herself further while confused Hero understood her blameless conduct accidentally formed increasingly hazardous confusions between both family. Rei enthusiastically showed herself assuredly before horrified Hero, whose panicked response instantly showed the position becoming entirely uncontrollable for him. Hero gazed upward powerlessly while Rei's peculiar care overwhelmed him entirely, triggering dramatic fear about surviving his younger sister's hazardous excitement. Snow came in the noisy chamber abruptly while Rei persisted embarrassing Hero accidentally, leaving him panicking powerlessly beneath her. Hearing Hero's claims, Rei became flustered while Snow quietly watched their dubious conduct without confusion anything yet. Snow earnestly asked whether Hero and Rei acted improperly together, shocking both family and instantly forming intense uncertainty between everybody. Thinking Rei's dignity became menaced, Snow readied enforcing old penalties theatrically while terrified Hero frantically denied every confusion. Snow found inappropriate publications beside Hero instantly, triggering Rei becoming speechless while he failed clarifying the embarrassing content. Snow assuredly took over Rei's lap pillow place beside injured Hero, thinking her deeds would solve the embarrassing confusion. Rei instantly objected anxiously while Snow steadily persisted touching Hero intently, leaving him entirely speechless from intense embarrassment. Snow and Rei contrasted their lap pillows earnestly, while trapped Hero panicked powerlessly, unable fleeing their strange contest surrounding him. Rei and Snow boldly announced their care, rewarding for drained Hero, thinking he deserved relief after shielding everybody during hazardous clashes. While both girls drew Hero closer fiercely, he complained frantically about distressing twisting motions triggered by their intense care. Hero frantically overwhelmed his brain intentionally, using intense pressure trying restrain hazardous bodily responses triggered by embarrassing area. The extreme method caused blood from Hero's nose forcefully while he tried keeping consciousness through distressing air deprivation and fatigue. Delirious from fatigue, Hero pleaded Rei and Snow finding joy with people instead, frightening both girls beside his fated state. Hero fled intense embarrassment by feigning unconsciousness while Rei recalled the caring nature he continually tried hiding from everybody. Recalling distressing remorse involving Snow and his brother, Hero thought sadly upon distancing himself whenever major connections became emotionally. Rei recalled shielding her precious band cautiously, using distressing recollections and isolation stopping people stealing precious sentimental bonds away. Recalling Hiro's status kindly, Rei understood she no longer needed feigning sentimental resignation while silently embracing joy beside him. Rei and Snow cheerfully remained beside senseless Hiro together, thinking major connections no longer needed distressing distance or sentimental sacrifice. Rei persisted, seeing recovering Hiro frequently despite his swift healing, using nursing reasons while cautiously watching over his enhancing state. The detached home became livelier slowly as Rei and Snow bickered playfully, showing their connection growing increasingly comfortable around Hiro together. Time elapsed calmly for Hiro slowly, while noisy allies surrounded him continually, making unknown daily joy become entirely natural. Standing before the academy gate assuredly, Hiro understood the major school chapter and hazardous outcome incidents eventually beginning around everybody. Hiro spotted an unknown girl assuredly nearing nearby pupils, instantly believing she possessed major significance within the academy plotline. The enigmatic girl quietly watched Hiro while holding peculiar gear, forming strain surrounding their surprising meeting beside the academy gate. Tsukiori Sakura eventually emerged before everybody assuredly, signaling the true beginning of the academy chapter and outcome clashes nearing swiftly afterward.